Hello everybody, how are you? I'm gonna go straight onto my work mat here today. Mind my hands. There we go. I've been having so much technical difficulty lately. I thought I'd just best go straight down here. So here we are. I'm just gonna bring that up on my laptop and get some light here. Oh, it seems a bit shadowy today. Let me just move this a little bit more into the light. It's still a little bit shadowy, but that's okay. It will work fine. How is everybody doing today? We are still quite smoky here. Visibility is just terrible. And I know in the UK, I think Dalia is saying it is quite sunny. Okay. Have we go? Oh, here we go again. See, Paul, I tried to do this the right way and it just did not want to work. And oh, I'm just like, I'm losing my patience with this Facebook thing. Okay, let's see. Just quote your notification. Hi, Janet. Found you. Hi. Hi, Paul. Hi, Britt. Britt, you're here today. Yay. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, and I can hear my computer relaying everything I'm saying, so I've turned the volume off. Hi, Paul. Upside down smile, just like my work was here. I don't know what's going on. See, I didn't even show my face today because I wanted to make sure that my camera was right. Okay, so today we are working with the good job, Britt, working and watching. That's my girl. Today we are working with the Pentart Finishing Waxes. There are so many techniques with these finishing waxes. I wish I could show them all and I wish I could continue learning. But for today, I'm just going to touch on some very few basics. And the finishing waxes are actually exactly what they say they are. They are a finishing wax. So if you have furniture or anything that you want to protect, then this is the wax that you would go with. However, they have, thank you, Paul. However, you can use them obviously in mixed media, and they're done by Pentart. So they are truly for mixed media. Hi, Judy. So with the finishing waxes, you get this great big pot and they smell divine. And they come in 3 colors. And the first one is this brown. It's like a deep cocoa, dark chocolate brown. So this is for brown furniture. However, you can use it on any color furniture, as I'm going to show you in a quick demo. So that's for your dark furniture. Your white is obviously to protect your white furniture. But again, we're going to use this to do a mixed media technique. And then we have your transparent, which I absolutely love because the transparent is for colored furniture, but it's probably one of my favorite techniques that I do with it. And we're going to see that today. So let me show you some samples. When Dali was here, she actually got me addicted to this because it smells so good. That was the only thing I was addicted to, was the smell. But since then, I'm enjoying doing techniques. So 3 colors, 3 pots. Now, talking about Dali and what she did with it was actually thanks to Royette Jensen, who had sent me a video and asking if we had a product that was similar to a product that she had seen, and the overall effect that it could create. So I'm like, of course we do. What do we not have that you can use to create that effect? So thank you, Royette. And so Dali wanted to do Royatta's sample to show how it worked. So this was Dali's very first sample. So this is using the transparent finishing wax. And what it basically does, it gives you, one, a very smooth finish, and two, it protects it, and three, it gives you that effect of, you know, that weathered wood effect that everybody's always trying to achieve in mixed media. Well, this is the easiest way to do it. So it gives you that very kind of weathered look, where it just feels like the paint has chipped off. It's like a peeled paint look. So I love this sample by Dali. And here she used earthy brown in the Pentart Acrylic Matte. It is the same earthy brown that comes from the Rust Effect kit. Hi Melinda, the Rust Effect kit. And then she used the Decor Soft Cardinal Red. And then she used the, I believe it's the Lichen Green from the Decor Soft. And she achieved these effects just using 3 colors. Thanks, Dali. This is yours. And so this is just absolutely beautiful what she did. Now, I have also done one, and I just went with a different kind of color palette. I again used the earthy brown, and I used the country green matte acrylic, and then I used the white acrylic, and then I just put a little bit of Lazur to pull it back. So today I'm going to be teaching you, this will probably be the last one that I do today, because I want to show you a couple of other techniques, quick ones, of how to get this peeled paint look, but with an absolutely very smooth finish. So brilliant to use in card making, front of your albums, especially if you have an album that you're making for somebody that is an avid outdoorsy person. I can just imagine using this with the Forest Stamperia book. So I just love this. Very, very nice. Hi, Gloria. And so that's what we're going to be doing today. So I'll leave that one for last. And another one is I'm going to show you how to go from a plain wooden box, just a regular box. Now, don't forget, I use smaller substrates, like a smaller box, but imagine this on a bigger box. So just kind of expand your mind and think of bigger canvases, bigger rice papers, and whatnot. These are just small techniques. Okay, hi Varga. So what we're going to do with this, we're going to go from that to this beautiful polished looking piece of work, which is on the same wooden box. And I don't know if it quite shows up, but you can see how beautiful, hi John, how beautiful and grainy that actually looks. And this is using the white finishing wax and the brown finishing wax. So we're going to do that from this to this. I'll do that one second last. Now, I'm just going to start off with a very few simple techniques. The very first one is rice paper. Now, again, I'm working with very, very small samples, just to show you the technique. But I'm going to show you how you can vintagize, how you can make your rice paper look vintage. So this is how we're going to start, and this is how we're going to end up. So that's the same rice paper, exact same one, except obviously got the alphabet at the top. And I'm just going to show you quickly, very quick technique of how to make anything look vintage using the wax. Now, the great thing about the wax is it dries on impact. You can go over with the different color waxes over your work. And also the fact that it's not sticky or gooey, and there's no horrible smell like if you're trying to do the patina. So the brown one is very much like the antiquing paste, if you will, without the stickiness. And also you don't need to put a varnish on top to protect this because the wax itself is a protectant. So let's just go ahead and put down some rice paper on just a regular piece of cardstock. So again, this can be done on a canvas, a box, however or where you would like to do this. So we're going to start off with the Pentart Decoupage Varnish and Glue Matte. As you know, these come in 3 different types. You have the one for ceramic for glass, and then you have the textile one for all your fabric needs. But we're using the matte because that is what you use on paper, canvases, and whatnot. So I'm just going to do this quick. I'm just going to come down and put down some decoupage. Nothing too exciting to begin today's Facebook, but it's important to show you the different effects that you can get. And then we're just going to come down and put our rice paper down here. And then we're just going to go over the top. I find a softer brush, soft bristle brush, works good for this. Especially if you're using the ceramic on glass, because you don't want to see the brush strokes in your work. We do a lot of glass plate workshops and clock workshops, and it's really nice if you don't get to see the brush strokes of the actual decoupage. That looks good. I can maybe get a little bit down here. That's easy peasy. Put your rice paper down 101. Now, the next step that you want to do is, I just like to massage out any bubbles that I may have. And really, honestly, the rice paper on its own looks really good. You don't really have to vintage it, but this is just for technique. So I'm gonna give that a quick blast. There we go. I'm just going to trim this down. So you could use this for your, definitely for your card making, scrapbook paper, anything that you want to. And of course, like I said, canvases, if you're putting rice paper down on a box or anything like that. Okay, so there you have it. Shouldn't be so bendy and bubbly, but we're gonna do it because we just want to get through our techniques. We want to be able to get through all of them. Okay, so I'm gonna show you the different effects that you can get. You want to have a baby wipe handy. Like I said, the finishing wax is not sticky and it doesn't adhere to your hands, so that's really good. I'm just going to move some of this stuff out of the way. And all you want to do is you just want to pick up a little bit on your brush, and if you want to go in dark, you can come in dark like this, okay? Now, if you just want to do only little bits, you can also just come in and do it this way to just give it a random vintage look. But the thing is, you don't get it on you, and that's the beauty of this wax. And if you just want to distress your edges, you can also just come in and distress your edges. Now, you can already see where there is none of this wax, and you can see where I've already done it here at the bottom and on the sides. Now, to further enhance the vintage look, once you've put this down, and you can go as thick as you want, I'm using this quite sparingly, you just want to take your baby wipe. Hi Liliana, you just want to take your baby wipe and you want to start pulling that back. And you want to just pull it in certain areas. You don't have to pull it in every single area. And you want to start pulling that back just gently. And what you've done now is you've created this nice, very dark vintage look. So I've left the middle blank so you can see the top where your rice paper has got the wax on it. You can see the middle where it's got none on it, and then at the bottom you can see it where I've randomly just put some wax down, and then you can see the sides where I've just stressed them down here. Now this is a very, very quick way to make your work vintage very, very quickly with no sticky effects, no color coming off, and very simple technique that you can do for your rice paper. So you went from white, well, a creamy color, I would say. Okay, so that's a very quick demo on using it on rice paper. Now, the other thing that you can do, and you can also do this with any of the crackle paste. We have country blue, we have Victorian pink, we have ivory, we have a lichen green, black, we have orange, we have bright green. I'm gonna do it with the white because I want it to show up. Is basically just taking a piece of cardboard here, and I'm going to show you how to use the white crackle paste and make that very vintage also. Okay, so you can use this right over crackle paste, and we're going to use for the crackle paste the Pentart Crackling Paste Primer and the Pentart Crackling Paste that goes with it. Now, the Crackling Paste Primer, I believe there's a universal primer, so you can just get that one primer for most of the crackle pastes. So all we're going to do right now is we are just going to come in and quickly primer this little piece of cardboard here. Now, we all know that, well, maybe we don't, but if you want really little baby micro cracks, then brush it on. If you want really thick, chunky cracks, then you want to put it down with a palette knife for texture. I'm going to do the thinner cracks because it dries faster. So just going to come in with a little bit of primer, and we are just going to brush that on. And you just want a thin coat of primer. You don't want this too thick. You guys know me, I always like to do it in one way, my brush strokes, but that doesn't really matter in the big picture. Okay, so we've got the primer down. And I'm just going to give that a quick dry. when you're working with the Pentart Crackle primer, you always know where you put it. I mean, I'm covering the whole piece. I didn't have to, but you always know where you put it. Hi, Diana. Because you always have like a little shimmer to it. So when you're working on rice paper doing crackles or anything else, always know that you can tell where it is, because it will have like a shimmery glare to it, opposed to just being matte and flat. So to further enhance this technique, what one could do is paint the cardboard in a color of their choice, say something like this color, the juniper green from Pentart, then do your primer over it, and then your cracks would actually show the blue juniper green through them, and then go ahead and put some wax paste on it. So I'm just going to take the same brush that I had. I've just wiped it off with a paper towel. And like I said, if you want thicker cracks, you come in with the palette knife, but we're just going to go in and just put this down with a brush, because we want the cracks to be relatively tiny, quite micro. The thing I love about the Pentart Crackle Paste is that it starts to dry really, really fast right in front of your eyes. I always say, you know, I like for me to let things dry naturally. But the beauty of the Pentart products is that you don't have to do that. They are designed to work with a heat tool. So there you have it, nothing too exciting. There we go. So like I said, you could use this with the black crackle paste and use the white wax over this for the same technique. So just put the crackle paste on there, and we're just gonna let that dry. So what I'm gonna do is just take the heat tool to it. I haven't done a super strong coverage over that. Hi, Diane. So you can see where it's a little bit thicker with the brush, you're going to get a slightly bigger crack. And then where I haven't done it thick at all is going to be a very, very tiny micro crack. But that will show you a variation. And if you went in with the palette knife, it would look like a crocodile. It would be they would be so big. But I do hi Lisa, I do love watching the crackle take effect. Such a nice crackle paste to use. Okay, so we're going to do the exact same thing. We are going to go from that to this. And again, you don't have to cover all of it. You can just cover bits of it, and you're just going to come in and you are just going to come and use with a brush, and you can use your hand too. And you're just going to come in and get some select areas that you want the wax to give it that vintage look. I always like doing a little bit more on the sides. I just think it gives it a really nice effect. Now you can leave it like this for sure. You don't have to do anything more with it. And it has a really nice grainy effect to it. So this is without doing anything to it. You guys know I don't like it when things aren't blendy. So I'm just going to come in and blendy. Okay. I'm going to darken up the edges a little bit more just to show you the different effect. But again, you could now leave this as is. You don't really have to do anything with it. And again, it's not going to get on your hands. So there you have it. And then what you want to do the same technique. You can come in and you can start pulling back certain areas and leave certain areas darker. And at this point, you know, if it's gone too dark or you want to make it lighter, then you can do that also. It's so simple to work with. You can also, at this point, you can bring in some of the white wax if you want to. And you can continue with this effect, but using the white. So now you have more of a grainy, cracked paint look because you've got the crackle paste at the bottom. So it's entirely up to you how you want to do this. So there you have it. A great way to create a crackled look. Thank you, Liliana. A really, really simple, very simple technique, but the effects are just stunning. So imagine this on the bigger cracks, doing this on a bigger mixed media piece, canvas, wooden box. I could have done this on the wooden box that I'm going to show you next. But really simple, just using the waxes. And again, the smell is magnificent and you're not going to get dirty. I truly, truly like this area right here where I've used the brown and white. And you can really see the crackle effect. Okay, demo number 2 then. I like this side too, actually, come to think of it. Maybe I just like it all. Yes, yes. In a big canvas, I know. How gorgeous would that look, right? I just thinking, oh, just with autumn around the corner, this is just perfect. And so woodsy too. Okay, so that's the next technique. So it actually turned out better than the sample I did. So that was my sample. Mind you, they both have their own kind of looks. And in the sample, I didn't use the white finishing wax. In this one, I used the white finishing wax. So that's the difference there. Okay. Okay, so what should we do next? What should we do next? Let's do the box. And I actually love doing this box because to me, I'm always just so fascinated. And you know, the light truly does not pick up how gorgeous the wax is on that. Yeah, it's really nice, Gloria. I know the white one's so nice. The camera doesn't really pick up how gorgeous these waxes work, and it's such a smooth, gorgeous finish. So you take your wooden box, and what I'm going to use on this today is I'm going to use the Acrylic Paint Soft Juniper Green. Is one of my favorite colors. I knew what you meant, Gloria. So move this out the way. And all we're going to do, and you're going to notice how bright it is when I actually put it down. So I'll do a side by side. We're going to just take the paint and we're just going to come in and we are just going to paint this. And you're going to be like, oh my goodness, you're going to be here forever painting this little box. Actually, no, because I keep telling you guys, Pentart products are amazing. They literally dry so fast. So this will probably dry as I actually go around the edges. But I wanted to do the painting of the whole box because I really just wanted you to see the difference in the colors after putting the wax on. And don't forget that the wax is also going to protect your box, so you don't have to worry there. This is great for Christmas time, giving somebody this really nice, authentic looking box. So you can already tell right here, it is already dry. Now we're just gonna go around the back. I want to kind of mind my little thing there. I love the Decor paints because they're a chalk paint, and I love the fact that they give such a nice muted but vibrant look, if you will. It's kind of like an oxymoron, vibrant but muted. I don't know. And you don't have to be too careful about if you miss a spot or anything, because you're going to come in with the wax anyway. Obviously with a color this dark, I mean, you don't want to have big gaping gaps missing. But either way, the wax will come along and protect it anyway. Okay, there we go. See, that is already dry. So I do love these paints. So I'm not sure what everybody's up to. I am off to Prince George to teach at a retreat for 4 days. It's something that I do twice a year, once in the fall and once in the spring. But our skies are so smoky here. Visibility isn't going to be the best, so it'll definitely be a super early start for me Thursday morning. So excited to see all the ladies and some new faces in Prince George. Let's see. Is this relaxing watching me paint? It feels relaxing for me. Okay, so now let's see, let's get this side done. And we're nearly there. Okay, so maybe what I'll do is I will leave the front just to, then you can have a real comparison as to what it looks like once I'm done with the wax on it. Okay, so that's all you need for this. Let's come and touch on some of those spots here. Okay, I'm just going to give this a quick blast. It's already dry. Okay, so you can see right here the difference between the two. This one's very shabby, kind of antique-y looking, and this one's just the plain chalk paint. Okay, so first all you're gonna do is you are gonna come in with the brown wax, and you're just gonna go over it like this. There's no rhyme or reason where you're putting it. You're just gonna randomly put this on over your box, okay? And I'm using this very sparingly. You can go in like super thick if you want to. It doesn't matter because you're gonna pull it back anyway. Okay, this is like so easy to do because you can't mess up. And then I'm just gonna go down the sides here. Now, I always say take your time when you're doing this at home. This one, don't worry about it, just go for it. And then come around to this side. So now you kind of have your base done there. I'm just going to come in a little bit more, and I'm just going to touch up the sides here just to get some extra wax on the sides. I always like my sides a little bit darker. Just a personal preference kind of thing, I guess. Okay, so now the next step that you're going to do is you don't really even need a baby white for this. You can always just use paper towel. Yes, Gail, that's chalk paint. So, hi Debbie, that's chalk paint. So yes, the juniper green. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to pull back in certain areas. And already you're starting to get that antique look happening. Okay, you're going to do the same right here on the sides. You're going to get that antique look going on. See how it leaves those gorgeous different shades? Like I said, it's kind of hard to see on here. And then you're going to do the same here. And you can just pick up certain bits and leave certain bits. Now, the next thing that you're going to do is you're going to come in with your white. And first I'm going to show you the white on the blue so you can see it. Yes, it's your favorite color. You love the greens. And you can bring in your white. Just like that. Take your paper towel and just pull it back slightly. So this is what the white will give you. This just gorgeous, beautiful sheen. Oh, I'm so glad you like it, girl. I love the chalk paint, one of my favorite. And then we're gonna go around the back here. But see how easy this finishing wax is to use? Like, you just can't go wrong. And then what you're gonna do is, again, you're gonna come in and you're just gonna rub it in, and already, again, you have this gorgeous look going on. And then let's do the last side here. Nothing too technical. And let's just pull that back too. Now you could also use your fingers to put it where you want it. And you polish it back, and can you see now how that's made it that grainy look? So you can pull it back as much as you want. Okay, so already if you look at the front of the box and now you look at the side of the box, you can already see, and you can get as a great angle of showing you how grainy but smooth that already looks. So the next thing you want to do is you want to bring in some white, and now you're going to just go over the top like this. Okay, just bring it into the top like this. And you can keep working between the two waxes as much as you want. Okay. And then do that down the sides. Oh, you did you? That's a good idea, Gail. I didn't think of doing that because my seahorse is black at the back. And so now you're working with the two different colors. So now you see that effect that you're getting? There, you can see it now. It's just a gorgeous wooden grain effect. And then again, just go around, rub it all in. And then you can come in and you can do the top. And you watch how beautiful this will all blend in. Look at that. What a gorgeous effect that you get. And of course you can keep going back and working more in, do some darker areas. It's entirely up to you. the look that you want to go for. And just keep going back in with the wax where you want to highlight some areas. And pull it back. And now you see this gorgeous effect that you get. So this is working with the brown wax and the white wax. This is too white for me, so I'm just going to come in and brush a little bit in there. And I don't know if you guys can see, but what ends up happening is you get the blue underneath, but you also get the brown, and you still get tones of the white. So we'll just finish that off. And again, you can go as dark as you want and as light as you want. I just love these waxes. I'm just amazed at how you can go from a plain Jane box to something like this with a little bit of wax. Of course, you can go dark and you can leave it like this. There's no reason that you can't leave the wax. If I wanted this like really dark, I could leave the wax just like this. And this is a totally different effect, and it's a great effect. You can leave it just like that. Okay. Good one, Gail. So this is the other, so the waxes that we're using to do, Gail, are called finishing waxes. So the pot that I'm using right now is a finishing wax, which is this brown. So really they're from Pentart, they're for mixed media. They're for furniture, brown for the brown furniture, white for white furniture, and then this is a transparent, which I'll be using next for colored furniture. And what they do, they're a sealant, they're a protectant for your furniture. But they're also for mixed media techniques, because, you know, they're done by Pentart. So that's what I'm using them for. But I'm showing you right now, like, you can just take anything that's wooden. Yeah, another thing, right, Gail? You can just take a wooden box and look at the effects you can get on it by, I mean, you guys saw me do this. It took me no time to do this. And, you know, it was really, really simple. But I keep focusing on this because I really like this effect, because I didn't do this effect before. And basically what I'm doing is I'm not pulling back with the baby wipe or the paper towel. So really nice vintage look from that to that. Okay, so last technique that we're going to do is we've worked with the white and we've worked with the brown. So now what we're going to do is we are going to work with the transparent. So this is the transparent. This is exactly what it is. It's a wax. Pots are big. They're 125 mils. Sorry, I shouldn't do that. It might make you guys dizzy. And the technique that we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to create. They bring a flat 2D card to life with an amazing sheen on craft card too. Thank you, Paul. Yes, because I'm just relatively new to this, so anything that you guys can add your Dali, that would be brilliant. And you're right, imagine doing this on cardstock. I mean, the technique that I just did with the brown and white wax, just even imagine that on the back of a card or on an album cover, it would just be stunning. Now, because it's flat, you know, you don't have to have texture. So this looks like peeled paint, but it is smooth. There's like, there's no peeled paint coming off. Hi, Terry. There's no peeled paint coming off. It just looks like peeled paint, but if you look, there's nothing coming off. So I love this technique. So I've saved it for last. So thank you for sticking with me. So this is pretty relatively easy to do. Like I say about everything. Let me pull some paintbrushes here. And so I'm not going to be using the brown finishing wax or the white finishing wax. I'm going to go straight in with the transparent. So I am going to play around with a few colors. I am going to use the Rust Effect kit. The only thing that I'm not using in the Rust Effect kit is the 3D powder to give it texture, but you could. There's nothing stopping you from doing that. Okay? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the earthy brown and I'm going to paint that onto my little sample wood slat here. I love this brown, it's so rich. It's called earthy brown, no wonder. You guys are watching me do a lot of painting today. Okay. There we have it. And then I'm just going to do the sides because I just want it to look like a finished product when I'm done, or project. And also because then you can really see the wax go to work. Again, very fortunate Pentart products dry relatively fast, so I'm not too worried about getting this on me. But then crafting mixed media wouldn't be fun if you didn't get messy. Yeah, Dahlia, I love the techniques that you can do with them. Like I said, there's so many techniques that you can do with these finishing wax, and that pot will never finish. It's like 4 times, no, maybe 6 times the size of the regular waxes, although they are totally 2 different things. So if you have the Pentart waxes, wax metallics or chameleon, they're not the same thing. I'm just doing a comparison in the size. You know how long those have lasted you ladies. Imagine this pot. Okay, so there we have the first layer. Now, the next thing that I'm going to do, you could at this point come in and put down some of the transparent wax paste to even elevate this further, but I'm not going to. I'm only going to do it in 3 stages, and I'll kind of explain what I mean, because if you put some of the wax down now and come in with a different color, you'll get this effect. But the next 3 colors I'm just going to come in and put down randomly. So the next color that I'm going to go with from the Rust Effect kit is the reddish brown. And I'm just going to put that on randomly. Just a little bit here and there. And I didn't really do this for the other tag. I'm not worried about drying this because it's already kind of dried. So I'm just hoping by doing this we'll see more of a contrast in the crackled paint effect. Okay. Then the next color that I'm going to come in from the Rust Effect kit is the red clay. I think it's called red clay. I believe it's red clay. Is red clay. So this is what it looks like right now. It's got 2 different colors on it. A little bit of that reddish brown and the earthy brown from your Rust Effect kits. Okay. So the next color, like I said, is red clay. And we're going to do the same thing with that. We're just going to come and put that in random areas. So now what you have is you've got like 3 splodgy colors going on, but don't worry, it's gonna look good once it's done. Right now you're like, uh-oh. I hope it's gonna look good. This is where Dali did her sample when she got me hooked on this stuff. She used the earthy brown from the Rest Effect. She used Gail, she used the cardinal red from the soft decors you just brought. This is a cardinal red. And she used the lichen green, or the lichen green, no, olive tree green that you just brought in the soft decor paints. So you actually have all these colors. So last step, I'm going to come in and I'm going to add a little bit of the ochre color from the Rest Effect kit. And this tag is probably not going to be the same as my sample tag, because I've only had used the earthy brown in this one, but I wanted to play. So I'm going to play. So let's get this one going. Just put that there. And this is such a vibrant color. But I just want to see what kind of effects I get by using the different colors. Can't be all work and no play. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back in with the earth brown. As you can see, this is quite splodgy and all over the place. I think I'm just practicing on my Facebook Live. I'm not sticking to the sample that I did. How bad is that? I'm just going to come in and darken up some of those colors with my brown, because I do really want my edges to be quite dark. So I'm just going to come around the edges here. And maybe we'll leave that side there. No, I don't like this here. So that's all we're going to do. And there you can see that this really doesn't look like much. And I hope it's going to look like something by the time I'm done with it. Dali, are you cringing yet? What I've done? Now, as Paul was saying, with the transparent wax, it is quite can give quite the glossy look. So it's a really nice one to use. Okay, so I'm going to be done with that paint for now, because I think I've done a lot. Thank you, Dali. I'm glad you have confidence in me. Okay, so the next step that you're going to do is you are going to come in and just take your finger and just take some wax. Just a little bit of wax. It's like, this is a transparent one, yeah? And what you're going to do is you're just going to apply it to where you want it. My wax is a little bit hard. I could probably take a little gun to it. And you're just going to randomly put it where you don't want the other paint to come. Okay? So all you're doing is you're just randomly putting it in areas like this. Okay? I don't think you need as much as I'm putting down, but I want to just play. I'm just going to keep going all the way around, because I want my cracks to kind of show up all the way around, albeit I could leave some spaces that are kind of empty-ish, but too late now. So there you have it. That's all you're going to do. And then you're just going to randomly bring it down in different areas. And what you can do for that is you can just take one of these skewers and you can probably just put it down like this, because I want it to be a little bit streaky. Okay, I want some of these areas where I've got the different color to show up, so I'm trying to aim for those colors a little bit. Okay, so now what this looks like is this. Still don't look too hot. Still isn't looking too hot. Okay, no need to dry this. So the next color that I'm going to come in with is from the Patina Effect set, which is 5 colors. And I'm using, I believe it's the Country Green. So I'm going to use a Country Green. This is from your Patina Effect set. And all you're going to do with this is you are just going to come back and you are going to paint over everything that you have down here. Okay. So is this brush wet? No, it's dry. So let's go for it. And you just want to lightly come over everything. Okay, just like this. And the wax kind of stays there. It doesn't really move. But you do have to be gentle. I mean, don't slap it on really hard. So I think, Dali, you've got your Facebook Live tomorrow, right? I think we're all sleeping when you do your Facebook Live, but for everybody here, I will post Dali's Facebook Live once she's got it going, and we always put it on YouTube, so subscribe to our channel. It's the Shock Art Sisters, and you can see Dali's Facebook Lives when you wake up. I'm not sure what Dali's doing tomorrow. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, this is what it looks like at 11 o'clock. Awesome, Dali. So if it's 11 o'clock your time in the morning, what time does it make it for us? We're 8 hours behind. Yeah, we'll definitely be sleeping. Thanks, Gail. So I've kind of dried it. I'm going to come in with a second coat. Yeah, thanks, Gail. The colors, I hope, will all blend nice. And I love how the Patina Effect Kit colors work so well with the rest Effect Kit, which you guys got to see firsthand when you did the seahorse on Saturday. What a fun time. So I'm just gently going over this. And again, thanks to Royette, who pointed out and had asked Dali and I, do you have a product that does this? I love it when people send suggestions or give suggestions or ask, can you do this technique, or can you achieve this effect? I've seen it done. Because it really allows us then to go experiment and talk to Pentart and have fun. Okay, I'm gonna dry this again. So like I said, there's so many different techniques that you can do with this, but look, I've already taken an hour and I've only shown you a few. So now what you want to do is you want to start rubbing back. And you want to start pulling back, and you're going to be able to start seeing where, hi Emma, where that rice papers, Dali's doing rice papers tomorrow, yay! With shellac, it really looks wonderful. I'll have to come see it, Gail. Oh, I'm so glad I used those different colors underneath. So you're just gently pulling back, and what's happening is, I mean, you can put obviously the wax down more strategically than I did, but what's happening is you're getting already this crackled paint effect. And what I found really helps is if you just take the end of your skewer and you do it this way, because what it does, it actually picks up all your wax without you having to continuously rub with your baby wipe. It really is, whoopsie daisy, literally like peeling paint. So now it will only take the paint off. So right here where I'm doing it, it doesn't matter how hard I go, I can't get it off because there's no wax under this part there. But I know I had some down the sides. So yeah, I like this skewer technique because it just saves me time going back and forth with the baby wipe. Now, we're just going to wipe this back. Okay. I'm just going to clean this up a little bit so the colors underneath show up a little bit more. I'm not too worried about rubbing hard at this point because anything that was going to come off has come off. And I also want this, so not straining, but you know, give it a good rub. But I also want this to look nice and clean and have that flat look to it. Now, you could leave it at this point, but look at that crackle. Obviously, you know, it's splotchy, but I'm going to go in again. Hi, Joe said, thanks, Janet. And let's continue with the next step. So again, we're going to do the exact same thing. This time, we're going to come in. Oh, I think I got wax on my face. And all we're going to do this time is we're just, again, going to just put this down in strategic areas. Probably not so strategic right now because we're just kind of going with the flow. But if you have it thought out in your head, then you can do it. Okay, so let's put some down here. I'm just loving this corner right here. I think that's just gorgeous. So that's with the different rest effect paints. So I did kind of get what I was trying to achieve, so I'm happy about that. So I want to protect the integrity of where I have my brown, so I'm just going to put a little bit down in those areas. And I do want to protect this dark color right here, so I'm going to put some down here. But I won't do it all over because I've kept you guys long enough as it is. But this will just give you an idea of how to do this. So I think for now that is good, and I do want some of the blue to show through, so I'm going to put some down on the blue. But again, you know, take your time when you're doing this for this one. Okay, I'm just going to do a couple of lines down here, see if I can't get more of a kind of a grainy look going on, but we'll see what happens. You know, for Dali, well, not for Dali maybe, because she's just like a natural at this. For me, sometimes it's trial and error, and what not better place than to do it with you guys, right? Okay, so last step, well, kind of last step. I'm just using acrylic paint matte Yes, Janet, you can stamp on this, and I'm going to show you in a minute how I stamped on mine. It's just simple, stays on, and a stamp. I'm going to use acrylic white. This one, Janet, my sample is stamped on. And then Dali sample that she left by, she's also stamped on it too. So, I mean, that's just amazing. Yeah, so here's my sample piece, which is not as vibrant as Dali's, but more crackled, peeled paint effect. And then Dali's using just gorgeous decor soft paints and crisp image stamp on hers. And mine I pulled back a bit. So white acrylic paint, if you noticed, all I'm doing is using mattes, and we're nearly done. So just bear with me. And this time we are, and don't be afraid, gonna go over in white. Don't let this scare you. And this is where I asked myself, did I put my wax down? I think I did. I can see it. Too late now. We might just end up with a white blank board. I have loved doing this. I have to say, this technique for me, it's just magical. I just love it because I don't know what I'm going to get. I just don't know what's under all these layers, what colors are going to pop now and what colors aren't. So I won't do 2 layers over this. Obviously you can. It's all about how stark you want that white to look. On Dali's one, she kept hers at 3 colors. And then with mine I've used a few more, that's all. Oh, Liliana, you're gonna love Pentart, as we swear by it. See, peeling off. So that's it, we're done. See, a little bit peeled off because I accidentally touched it with my hand, but that's good, that's good. So again, we're just gonna come in and I'm gonna go with my trusty skewer here and see where I can pull it back. And I wanted more of a grainy look this time, so I've got a little bit more wax in different areas. My paint is still a little bit wet. I should have probably thought about that before I started rubbing. So I'm trying not to disturb it too much. I'm going to go in with a baby wipe. And then as it dries, I'll come in with the skewer. Okay, I think there's still some wax under here that I need to get to, as you can see, but keep playing with it at home. Oh, I just love this. Trying to see where all that wax is. It's like digging for gold. Ooh, found some more. I just loved using this skewer on it. Okay, so this one I'm not going to pull back with the Lazur. I'm going to leave as is. Just going to pull out another baby right here. Let's clean that up. And I Gail, I think the wood pieces are from Multicraft. They're really neat because they're just like a little wooden slat. I'll see if I can't source these, okay? And yeah, they're great for plaques. So I'm just going to come in and clean this up a little bit and polish it up. And then we'll finish it off with some stamping, okay? I really want some of that dark paint to come through. So make sure your white paint is dry before you do this. And I will post pictures. If I get round to it, I'm so busy. But as you can see, as I'm cleaning it up, how much nicer it's coming out. And the different colors, but look at that crackled paint effect. Isn't that just absolutely gorgeous? I just love it. So you could leave this as is. I still need to pull back some areas where the wax is and make that paint really stand out. I'm loving the different colors that we used with the Pentart wrist effect because it's really giving me a really nice wooden feel. But I will leave it at this and show you, just you can go ahead and stamp. But there you have it. This gorgeous, flat, smooth, peeled paint look. Okay, now I would leave this for a bit because I've rubbed on it quite hard, so I've probably got a lot of little baby white juicy all over it. But let me just show you quickly how you can stamp on that, okay? So the first thing you want to use is a Staz-on. I'm not sure what. Oh, thank you, Gail. I know the products are just wonderful. Thank you for that. You want some Staz-on, and then you want to get a stamp. Now, I originally used on Dali and I originally on our piece, we use this Stampers Anonymous Tim Holtz collection. I'm gonna try and use one of Dali's stamps. It's not gonna, it's a rubber stamp, so let's just see how it goes. I just love these stamps. We got a Sanskrit, we got a postcard, and oh, we got Chai Lady. We got this one and the elephant. Okay, so anyway, let's just try a little bit with the Sanskrit and see what happens, shall we? See how that works out. Like I said, let the baby white moisture go. This, I might just give it a quick blast. So Janet, good question. Is it just the Staz-on? Well, just give me 1 second. Let's just try a few, shall we? While we're at it. So let's try the Distress and see how that works. I think I went with Staz-on because I never know what I'm going to do with it after. So let's try this one. And let's kind of do it where there's some white so we can see it. Yes, you can see it. It's right there. So that is a Distress ink. Okay, so you can definitely use the Distress ink on there. Let me try that a little bit more. Put it in another white area. Yeah, absolutely gorgeous with the Distress ink. You can for sure use it. Yeah, that's a really good idea, Gail. So yes, Distress oxides work. So I think you can do any ink over it. I don't think You have to worry about that. Now I'm just going to try it with the VersaFine. Gal, you got good ideas. So I'm just going to try it with the same stamp. I'm just going to come in on the opposite side and let's try it. Hopefully this is my good VersaFine. Is it VersaFine? What did I call it? Yeah, VersaFine. And let's just try that one, shall we? Thank you, Janet, because you know, this is always about experimenting, and yeah, absolutely perfect. So you don't need to use the Stays On. You can use whatever you want on this. In fact, I'm going to stay away from the Stays On for this particular piece because I'd rather not use that if I don't have to. So, bye-bye Stays On. Thank you, Janet. Let's just work with the VersaFine, shall we? See, you guys are so helpful. And then for the rest of it, I think now that I've covered it, I'm going to bring in a little bit more writing at the bottom here. Just to kind of center it out. Do a little bit of ghosting here. And then I think, and you can pull this back, and then I think, what do I want to do? I think I'm going to bring in the Taj Mahal with a little bit of the postcard. So now I'm just using my VersaFine, and let's see how this works out. But I like the tag as it is. Now I could have come in with a different color on this. And then, oh, thank you, Liliana. This is one of Dali Art's stamps. It actually goes with our Journal Through India scrapbook pad that Dali and I created. Oh, just absolutely stunning. I'm going to continue and finish off with the other side of her stamp, which has this really gorgeous mixed media postage. And let's just bring that down to the bottom here. And now, because you've used VersaFine, if you did want to go over this with something else, then at that point you could put a varnish over it. But there you have it. You have some Sanskrit in the back, you have a Taj Mahal, and you have a postage stamp at the bottom. Thank you, Liliana. And that's it. But look at this gorgeous effect. Now imagine doing this on a bigger canvas or a big piece, taking it into your mixed media toolkit belt, if you will. Use some stamps, whatever you have on hand. And if I really wanted to just really make it a little bit more vintage, one of the reasons to use Stays On, I guess, is I could still come in with the brown wax and just make it even more vintage just around the sides. And just bring it in to where I want to give it more dimension. So you can see now at the top where I've brought some more in, so it doesn't have really a grain look, but it has this like textured look, but it's not really textured. And I've darkened the sides, and you can just keep doing that. And because it's mixing with the VersaFine, it's actually quite nice. And really what you're doing, the wax is now going into the grooves of where you've used that skewer to pull that paint back. And if there's any areas that you want to come in and darken, you can. If you don't like it, what are you going to do? You take a baby wipe and you pull it back. Whoopsie daisy, I'll fix that part now. But there you have it. Oh no, I will have to come in with some fine tuning afterwards and take care of that. But everything's fixable. You just come in, you fix it in, and you just carry on like it never happened. So thank you, Janet. You're very, very welcome. There you have it, the final demo for the wax, and just absolutely gorgeous. Dali, love, love, love your stamp. Look at that. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's techniques. I will see you next Tuesday. I nearly forgot what day I was coming to see you guys. So these are all your samples from today, the different ways to use a finishing wax, and there you have it. Don't be afraid, go for it and have fun. And thank you, everybody. Thank you, Dali. So Dali's live tomorrow at 11 o'clock. I hope you enjoyed the demo. Again, this is finishing wax. It comes in transparent, brown, and white. Okay, everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you, Liliana. Thank you, Gail. And I will see all you guys soon. Have a great week, everybody. Bye.